Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us for your news at 10. I'm Ruben Diaz. New tonight, in the wake of the Department of Justice's investigation and report to the city of Memphis and the police department, city officials are now addressing some of those concerns. You see, about a month ago, uncertainty loomed over the potential for a consent decree or some other solutions. But today, there was some new clarity brought in. ABC 24's Lauren Turman has been following this story since day one and has the very latest on the city's plans. Lauren, what have you found out to this point?
Well, Ruben, as you mentioned, we've been looking into a lot of these DOJ findings, and we've had a lot of questions since the beginning. There was a lot of uncertainty as to the possibility of a consent decree nearly a month ago. However, now we know there is a plan to move forward with the DOJ and some suggested alternatives. Several Memphis and Shelby County officials discussed the findings of a Department of Justice report Monday afternoon. After a year-and-a-half-long investigation, the DOJ released the following findings on December 4th. The Memphis Police Department uses excessive force, conducts unlawful stops, searches, and arrests, and unlawfully discriminates against Black people, and the city and police department discriminate in their response to people with behavioral health disabilities.
The goal should be to, to protect the citizens of a particular region or city or county, and restoring public trust in that law enforcement agency.
After a press conference by the DOJ, city officials responded immediately, saying that they would not agree to a consent decree. Instead, they cited the costliness and requested more time to review the report. City Attorney Tanara Gibson, along with several other legal officials in Memphis, discussed next steps and potential solutions. Those are a technical assistance program where the DOJ will bring in experts to Memphis and present best policies and procedures that have worked well in other cities around the country. If a consent decree is negotiated and entered, it would go before a judge and is subject to being monitored. City officials say they tend to be extremely expensive and time-consuming, and they can be even more costly if they are violated. And a non-judicial settlement agreement, which is similar to juvenile court-agreed supervision. Former MPD Chief Tony Armstrong added to concerns of practicality, saying that it's easy to issue a report of corrective action to MPD, but harder to actually implement it.
You like the ability to sit down with the investigators to say, okay, let's go over this. And there are a lot of things that we just simply don't understand.
The burden of proof would be on the government to prove its stance through experts, statistics, or isolated incidents. Many of these officials also argued that this report doesn't show the other side of the coin or what's done well in the department. They say its successes are relevant because of public perception and again emphasize that the consent decree is not practical for Memphis.
The cost of a consent decree would be better served in terms of putting resources into assisting the police department and the city.
And this is not the first time there's been a consent decree on the table. The city entered one in the 70s, also having to do with law enforcement violations, which officers still follow. And it is important to note that both the city of Memphis and the DOJ have expressed willingness to compromise and strategize with one another to find a solution that works best for both parties. And though they have expressed heavy favor with technical assistance, at this point it is unclear which solution they will try to move forward with. In the studio, I'm Lauren Turman.